Now,
Sorry.
everybody, you are tuned into the Elks Call, your home for Edmonton Elks fan talk. My name is Scout, aka the rep from Section X,
And I'm Catherine, aka Even Elks.
coming to you live on Shotgun Sports Network with the replay airing exclusively on Edmonton Sports Talk. Kathy, thanks for being here today while under the weather.
I'll try to make it.
Yeah, sometimes this happens. It's that time of year. Even though the kids were in school for a bit, now they're out of school and
Everybody's sick.
Everybody's sick. So we can't thank you enough for joining us today on this very exciting sickisode episode. Thanks a lot, everybody. Once again, hit the like, subscribe, and favorite buttons to show some love, as your support means everything to us here at Shotgun Sports Network. All right, show schedule for today is as follows. We're going to open up with the SSN News Desk for the freshest news from Shotgun Sports Network and our pages. After that, we're going to give you Kathy's Herd Report, where we bring you the latest news and transactions, and of course, game recap and preview, all from EE Land. After that, we're going to give you an Edmonton Sports update, and then we're going to play some green or gold, our spin on hot or not. Finally, we're going to open up the fan forum where we talk about hot topics surrounding the Elks and the CFL world as a whole. We're interactive, which means our viewers can comment and ask questions in the Herd chat if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. We do see some comments already. Chris, good evening. And John Kirby, we see you in there as well. So shout out you. Now, let's get this show rolling with some SSN News Desk. This segment is brought to you by Royal Retros. Save 10% off your order by using code Shotgun Sports, all caps, no spaces. If you like throwbacks, you're going to love Royal Retros. They are the throwback kings. And they do have CFLPA merchandise and CFL-inspired merchandise. So go check them out. We have been loving Royal Retros for years, and we hope you do too. All right. We got a little bit of news here. First off, next year's tailgate menu is already in progress. I think we still got to talk about the menu a little bit, but
right.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We won't necessarily break the theme quite yet. There are some background conversations to be had, but I think we're getting close to finalizing that already because, as we know, we're kind of already looking forward to next season, unfortunately. And then final order of business for the 2025 Chili Cook-Off will be on Friday at 5:15 p.m. There is a pumpkin carving contest in the tailgate, which is pretty cool. So the Elks are going to be doing a pumpkin carving contest down in Lot B. So before they do that, we're going to go ahead and officially crown the winners of the Chili Cook-Off. So that'll be fun. If you are watching, listening, make sure you come on down to Stall 182 for 5:15. And we do have a little gift for everybody. So bit of a participation award for everybody that participated in this year's Chili Cook-Off. So I think that'll be fun. Very excited for that. And then, of course, we're also in some talks to bring more events like this to the tailgate for next year. So that's going to be really exciting. We'll see what we can drum up. I'm sure we're going to be contacting some fans and maybe going through a little bit of a process there in the offseason to set ourselves up for some more fun in the tailgate. And the Edmonton Elks are always down for that. So that'll be fun. All right. Next up is Kathy's Herd Report. This is where we talk recent news, transactions, and everything else. Today's Herd Report is brought to you by the Rouge, White, and Blue podcast. Oz and Joe have you covered on the latest happenings in the CFL from across multiple borders. American stock and Canadian football, Rouge, White, and Blue, only on Shotgun Sports. And I will mention, Rouge, White, and Blue does have a new episode up. They are fantastic for CFL coverage. These guys cover the entire league. So Oz and Joe do fantastic. Going all the way down to the Grey Cup here, you're going to want to go check them out because they do have some fantastic coverage. And obviously, they're going to be covering the playoffs as well. So it'll be good. I like. Some good comments about the chili cook-off, but
Yes, we do have Chris here in the chat saying that a prize could and should be the winner's recipe.
I like that.
I agree. I didn't get to try it. I want to see what the hype was all about. So
Spill the beans, right?
Did that one have beans?
It's a good
Did
question.
it have beans? Jason and Andrea's chili?
I'm trying to think. I believe so. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
There you go.
It tasted very traditional chili.
Right.
Big conversation.
Well, we've had that argument that traditional doesn't necessarily mean beans. So we'll see. Yeah, maybe I will ask for the recipe and just on the download, just share it.
The ISC, the International Society of Chili, says no beans in the chili. So.
Mm-hmm.
But,
okay,
all right. So,
yes. John, we'll get back to your questions a little bit later. For now, let's just go through the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna crack one right now because
this game. I don't want to talk about it. Like I feel crappy enough as it is. I don't want to talk about this game and feel worse by the end of this. Yeah. But you know what? We got to do it.
Let's get it out of the way.
Let's talk about it.
Get her done.
If there was one game that I really personally wanted to see Fajardo just go all out, it was this one.
Yeah.
I wanted my storyline. I wanted the storyline of Cody Fajardo beating Nathan Rourke. I mean, obviously it was a tall order. Yeah. We knew that that was probably not going to happen, but I certainly didn't think that it was going to go this way.
I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Yeah. I mean, and technically, you know, when you look at the score, it isn't even all that bad, but it felt like it. It felt like it was a bad one. And it was a bad start too. Had a couple of incomplete passes, Fajardo did, and then there was that missed 44-yard field goal by Vincent Blanchard, who also didn't have himself a good game. And that's how you open up this game, and you already think, oh.
Well, and I know that we're going to talk about Vincent Blanchard again, but what's the first thing we said when we missed that? Like,
it's BC plays. Like there's no win. Why are you missing?
Jake Julian on the show called it the special stream. There's no wind. Like it is basically a stadium with a roof.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was the jitters. I don't know if there was something going on breaking down with maybe the way Jake Julian was holding the ball. I don't know.
I don't know. It did look off right from the beginning. Like as soon as he kicked it, I was watching the highlights, and it, like right away you were like, "Oh no, that's totally off course." So, I mean, that's unfortunate. Right after that, defenses forced punts back and forth until JJ Ross recovered that fumble, or more like he punched the ball out of the hand of McInnes.
And you like to see that.
Yes. Yeah. Even myself, I was like, is that allowed? Like, you don't see that a lot. You see fumbles, you see all of that, but just like players straight up punching the ball out of another player's hands. And I mean, BC retaliated too. I think it was in the responding drive that I even saw it, and he looked aggressive, like he was going over the head, trying to punch the ball out of the hands. Like, whoa. But JJ Ross got it. He recovered that fumble near the goal line after a long completion from the Lions. Unfortunately, the Elks did not capitalize on this forced turnover and had to punt the ball away after Fajardo was sacked for a loss of 8 yards right in the end zone for a safety.
Boo. Where's the boo? Brutal. And like there has to be urgency in that on that play, within that play, but the problem is that BC's defensive line, including Matthew Betts, which is a player that I was watching for on the BC Lions side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball specifically, I was worried that Matthew Betts was going to make the Elks pay, and you know, he was definitely part of that play. So it's like Matthew Betts, you had to know that he was going to be a factor, and that BC Lions defensive line. There it is.
Yeah. And I mean, so close to the end zone. You figured that that's where you really want to tighten up your O-line. You know that they're probably going to run blitz. Yeah. You have this idea of what they're going to do, and the O-line just absolutely crumbled.
Well, and missing Carter O'Donnell is huge, right?
The penalties, injuries, lineman Cardinal O'Donnell and Benjamin Victor by this point had an injury, and it definitely compounded to the struggles.
Yeah.
So at least, it was a 2-point lead only by the end of the quarters, so it's not so bad. But sorry.
Well, no, and Chris here in the herd chat does acknowledge, right? That was the play after O'Donnell was injured. And I think he was, I'm not sure if he was really all that injured going into this game, but that definitely took him out, right? Yeah. So very, very, very frustrating. I also do like the reference that missed field goal remind me of the movie Major League, just a bit outside.
I don't think I've seen the movie.
Great reference.
Oh. You would know. Going into the second quarter, it was better. Of course, Edmonton's offense came alive as Cody Fajardo connected with Curly Giddens Jr. on several key plays, including an 18-yard strike and a 33-yard completion that set up a 6-yard touchdown run by Javon Leake. So that was Javon Leake's first rushing touchdown. So good for him.
Yeah, and I mean, we wanted to see more Javon Leake in this, right? Switch it up. Don't just ride with Rankin the whole time because you know that he's going to be covered,
And Curly Giddens Jr. too. Just the last episode we talked about it, that he seemed to be a little invisible in the past few games. So it was a good thing that they brought him in.
I will say it was one of those moments, and I believe I said it while we were watching the game. I'm like, what, do they listen to the show or something? Because we hadn't seen Curly Giddens Jr. make any major plays in at least 3 games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're missing him. He was brought back onto the team, or I believe he had a multi-year deal, right? But either way, he made it through training camp. Once again, he didn't get cut. He didn't get released. He's supposed to be one of the better players on the wide receiver side of things. So, I mean, utilize him.
Yeah.
And Curly Giddens Jr., I mean, sure, Canadian, obviously that helps with the ratio. But the guy's got hands. The guy can jump up and get the ball too. So I'm glad that we saw him have one heck of a game. I believe he might have even topped the wide receiver chart.
I'm not sure on that.
I'll check into that.
After that, the Elks followed with a 44-yard field goal from Vincent Blanchard to extend their lead.
Made that one.
He did make that one. The Lions, right after that, they struggled to sustain drives through much of the quarter. With the Elks defense forcing punts, containing the runs. But the Lions definitely did storm back in the closing minute with a super fast drive that resulted in a 5-yard touchdown run, followed by a successful 2-point conversion to tie the game.
And I think that was near the end of the second, right?
That was right at the end of the second.
Right at the end of the second. So I think that's where, as soon as they got that 2-point conversion, that was the beginning of the end for the Double E in this game.
I think so. I mean, and you knew that they were going to go for the 2-point.
Yeah.
Right there. You knew that they were going to tie it. But even at that point, like I said, it's like, okay, boys, like it's the half. You're getting a little bit of a break. Think of this as the start of the game, right? You're 0-0 at this point. It's just tied, right? So just do what you did in the first, contain them, stop Nathan Rourke, and then just push more than that. Because at the end of all of that, you're starting at the same point that you started in a way in terms of points.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, now come back and do it.
Like come out from halftime fresh.
Exactly.
Don't have a bad third quarter.
Exactly.
That's
what I was hoping. That's what I was telling myself. I was feeling it, and I was like, you know what? Let's start fresh in the third quarter. And no, we did not. Things went south.
Yeah.
Of course. Third quarter, it opened with a sudden momentum shift in favor of the BC Lions after Cody Fajardo threw a costly interception that BC Robert Carter Jr. returned for 50 yards for a pick 6. So I couldn't remember. I was trying to watch the highlights, and I know Cody Fajardo got injured. Was that before the half? Like during the second quarter? I couldn't remember exactly when he was injured.
With the hand. Yeah, I want to say that was in the first half, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
So because we were wondering how that would affect his play, right? Is it gonna?
I think we were like, are they gonna bring in Trey Ford? Is he hurting? Are they gonna bring him? Is he injured?
And it didn't happen.
But I think you definitely started to see certain things that were throwing him off, like whether maybe he was in pain, maybe I don't know. things were just off from now on for Cody Fajardo. Edmonton's offensive struggles continued. Fajardo faced heavy pressure and he took a sack. And look, I get that they were trying to be aggressive at this point after that pick 6, but a pass on a 3rd and 12?
That was one of the most frustrating calls. That was like a Jason Moss double E coach days type of call. That's the not going for a touchdown when you're, 3rd and 2,
right?
And you're right at the end zone or whatever, and instead you go for a field goal. Though that's the kind of rookie boneheaded mistakes we see out of rookie coach.
Yeah.
Out of a rookie coach or out of rookie coaches. And this was one of those moments.
And that's just it. That's a coaching thing. I mean, especially when Fajardo is not necessarily playing well. I mean, he just had a sack. He just had an interception. Like, what was the thought process other than we wanted to be aggressive?
But you don't have the team. You do not have the offense to be aggressive. You have to play small ball if you're the Edmonton Elks. In a reference, of course, to the Blue Jays. Let's go Blue Jays, by the way. But you have to play small ball. Just get the first downs. And if you can't get the first down, battle for field position. Because I can tell you right now, I have zero confidence in a 3rd and 12 play at midfield for the Edmonton Elks. No. And I don't think in any game against any opponent. Yeah. Not even the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Yeah. No, definitely not. No, definitely not for the Elks. Definitely not in the 3rd quarter.
Just
definitely
brutal.
Not after seeing the kind of game that they were playing.
Well, and so after Cody Fajardo just threw a pick too. Like, clearly the offense is struggling against BC's defense. Yeah. Since when do you think you're going to get the clutch calls over them without any sort of steam or momentum behind it? Yeah, no. And the Edmonton Elks weren't running tempo by any means at that point.
Not at this point, no.
Like, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? Mark Killam, what are we doing, man?
Well, and that set up BC for a field goal. And then right after that, of course, Nathan Rourke did what Nathan Rourke does best.
Yeah.
And he had himself a 70-yard touchdown run. Yuck.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a yuck button on this. Yuck. Yuck.
And I mean, like, good for him, I guess. I mean, that's massive for a quarterback, but like, seriously.
No, it's very, very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Our defense has its holes sometimes, and it really showed in that play. Really, really showed.
Well, and big plays, right? The Edmonton Elks have been notorious for giving up the big play. Yeah. The defense has been good in many areas. They're good at stopping the run now. They're good at, the linebacker area, shutting down the middle of the field, but, giving up big plays in the secondary. The corners struggle at times.
Especially with BC, the corners struggle.
Exactly. Well, and it's not even really safety. Cordell Jackson, I will say, has been doing his job at this season.
Yeah.
Cordell Jackson has been fantastic. Cordell Jackson has been a guy that I've been stoked about before he even made it onto the roster. And I'm glad to see that in his second year, he's still performing. Mm-hmm. So Cordell Jackson has done fantastic, but there's a couple other guys that are looking a bit invisible. I mean, Tyrell Ford, I think he gave up a couple of big plays. Yeah. Unfortunately made it onto the highlight reel, like we said, for the
wrong reasons.
On the previous game against Winnipeg. Yes. And then in this one, there was multiple times where you could tell that he lost his mans. And, and I mean, teams aren't scared to throw his way anymore because the Edmonton Elks' corners have been exposed a little bit. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, definitely. There were some misses in there for sure. At least Edmonton mounted a late quarter comeback drive. Fajardo completed some key passes, and Benjamin Victor hauled in for a 12-yard touchdown catch on the final play of the quarter. Blanchard's convert closed the scoring. So the quarter ended with BC still leading.
Which is not that bad.
Yeah, but Edmonton showed signs of renewed life heading into the final quarter. So I think in the fourth quarter, the Elks still had a chance. It was 10 points. Yeah. So a touchdown and a field goal, which is doable. Mm-hmm. If the defense held BC, it could have been doable. But with what we had seen, it was very questionable.
Yeah.
So even though when you think about it, a quarter is a long time of football. For 10 points is not even that much of a difference sometimes, but 10 points with a team that is playing this way is a big difference.
Yeah.
So, the fourth quarter opened up with both defenses trading interceptions. The Elks one followed a fumble, which was recovered by Mark Herdy, and a sack for a loss of 7 yards. So that was like one right after the other. The big difference with those interceptions, however, was that the BC one, again, capitalized on this interception with the precise touchdown strike to follow. BC's control only deepened as they once again intercepted Cody Fajardo and followed with another clock-draining drive that ended in a 33-yard field goal to extend the lead. I mean, the Elks refused to quit. At least. Fajardo, he orchestrated a late up-tempo drive that culminated in a determined 15-yard touchdown run by Fajardo himself with under a minute left. Vincent Blanchard's comfort brought Edmonton closer, but it was a little too late. BC recovered the ensuing onside kick and ran out the clock with a final kneel down, sealing an unfortunate but decisive win of 37-24.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
It's yeah, that was unfortunate. And I know this was coming. This was the whole thing. But my number one question is, why was Trey Ford not played, even in the final quarter? Like
I know why.
We were thinking even in the, I was asking, coming into this, coming into the second quarter that Fajardo seemed injured, or he just seemed out of sorts. So I was like, well, what's happening here? Isn't this the point? Isn't this the reason why you have a QB2?
Yeah.
That if your QB1 is not performing so well due to whatever reason, whether it is injury or just having an off game and you need to substitute for whatever reason. Isn't that why we have a QB2?
Well, no. So, once again, we don't know the language of Trey Ford's contract. There may be a clause that Trey Ford only goes in when the existing starter quarterback, is severely injured. Right? So who, or it has to be taken out of play. At that point, Cody Fajardo didn't have to be taken out of play. And Cody Fajardo obviously fought to stay in the game for himself. So consider that.
Now, would it have been a smart coaching decision for the coach to take Fajardo out of the game if a possible injury was preventing him from playing?
Yeah, properly? And I mean, even then, the Edmonton Elks did make it into garbage time in this game.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen. We haven't seen garbage time against the Elks in a while. The Edmonton Elks have been competitive.
But we also hadn't seen 3 interceptions for an Edmonton Elks game before.
And you know what? Just like when a goalie lets in 4 goals on 6 shots, right? In hockey, you do switch to your backup goalie. Because maybe your goalie's having an off night. Maybe Cody Fajardo's having an off night.
Yeah.
And
maybe that's why I was asking those questions, because I'm so used to seeing those kind of substitutions in a game like hockey, right? If the goalie is having himself a really bad game, pull him, bring the other guy.
Well, and that's where football and hockey are different because, you kind of want to save your backup quarterback for a severe instance or a severe injury or anything that really is killing the game. And unfortunately, Cody Fajardo wasn't doing so bad that he was losing them the game. Right? He wasn't throwing interception after interception. Obviously,
he kind of did.
But would Trey Ford have done better against BC's defense?
Well, I don't know. But what I do know is that last year, in the last couple of games of the season, when we were getting to garbage time, there was substitutions in the quarterbacks.
Now, flip side of it, if you're not sure if Trey Ford is going to be around next year, and if you are agent, right? Are they going to be okay with, let's say potential asset going in and potentially getting injured to the point where it
Right.
hinders him being an asset for either the Elks or a different team next year.
Mm.
And especially too, like, I mean, if to me, the language around it, like, I mean, if you're trying to decipher this just based on what we see here, that's why isn't Trey Ford playing? I think that is a good question. And I think that kind of does point towards some things here, because I think that Trey Ford should have drawn in at some point here, especially if there's garbage time against.
Yeah.
Like, you want to keep your backup quarterback fresh. That's still a thing. You want to keep your backup quarterback fresh.
I guess, but I mean, it's the second last game of the season.
And you would assume that you'd see him at some point.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of what I figured, right? In a way, maybe in my head, I still see this as a team effort in a lot of these plays, right? So if you see that if a player, and we see it, if a player is struggling or anything, sometimes they get pulled too, and they can make a substitution. Why not the quarterback as well?
We've seen Philip Grovac, right?
Exactly.
And I think that those are good whys. If I'm trying to answer it, like,
yeah, well, and that was just a question that I had, because it just seemed like Cody Fajardo was struggling so much.
But the other thing too, though. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
What I was gonna say is you also need to fight your way out of those situations as well, and that does offer Cody Fajardo the opportunity to do that. The other reason why now, let's say going into the last game of the year, why we would see Cody Fajardo as opposed to Trey Ford on the field. Well, A, for the Edmonton Elks, the win still means something.
Yeah, of course.
And B, Cody Fajardo is still also building chemistry with this offense.
Yeah, no, and I mean, he wasn't injured badly enough that he was definitely put into the injured list or anything like that. It just seemed like there was something in there, and he definitely was off his game. So I don't know. It was just an observation that I had, a question that I had throughout the game, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, I feel like there could have been some changes in there to make this a little bit better.
It's a very valid question, right? But
and the thing is that every single game matters, and a lot of these stats still matter for the players.
Oh, totally.
Right after this, I want to talk about some of the award nominees that we have for this year. And the thing about it is that interceptions and sacks and all of these plays still count against a player's stats.
Yeah.
So why, in that sense, you know, if you're thinking about your own plays and your own stats, and you know that you're not having a really good game, why not be okay with pulling away instead of continuing to make it worse? Right?
It's kind of like gambling, right? It's like, I spent $20, so now I have to make this up by winning $20. So if my stats go down a bit here, well, then I need to make it up elsewhere, right?
Well, but that didn't happen. So.
Well, and I do think that.
Well, he did get a touchdown. Cody Fajardo, he did get a running. Touchdown, rushing touchdown. So
I think that he might be a little bit dinged up. I think that that's part of it too. He might be a little bit fatigued.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But yes, so that was the game.
Yeah, that was a game.
Anyways, they did bring up some of the award nominees for this year, and I wanted to bring those up to see what you think.
Yeah, let's do it.
Most outstanding player, we know for sure, is Justin Rankin.
Has to be. I
think that's a really good nominee, and he might actually take it home. He might take it all the way.
For MOP, I wish. I do think that Nathan Rourke is going to be
with that 70-yard touchdown. See, I kind of had forgotten about that one.
Well, no, but Nathan Rourke.
No, and he still had himself
one heck of a season. It's still not even done yet.
Yeah,
so I
don't know. The best Canadian,
most outstanding Canadian. Yes.
The best Canadian.
Who's the best Canadian? It's Joel DeBlanco.
It's Joel DeBlanco. Most outstanding defense.
As Catherine calls it. Who's the best defense?
Cordell Jackson. He is the nominee.
Yeah.
Most outstanding lineman, David Beard. What do you think about that one?
I mean, that's who they nominated. Based on obviously what he's done at center. I want to say in the second half, his performance got a lot better. The offensive line slowly but surely got better. But in the first half of the season, there's no like I don't even know who you would pick from the linemen. But David Beard, he did pull his season around and did pull it together. He's also a great veteran on the team as well. Go Bears, former Golden Bears. So
Right.
yeah, David Beard, I don't mind the pick. I mean, who else are you going to pick really on that line? Mark Herdy.
Yeah.
Mark Herdy might be the other contender really. Carter O'Donnell came in late. I wouldn't doubt it if he's best offensive lineman next year.
Right. Also standing for special teams, Javon Leake. And the rookie of the year,
Shaylin Garnes.
Shaylin Garnes. I know a lot of people were asking about that, who the nominee for the rookie of the year would be.
Yeah. And we were talking about that, and it just so happened Shaylin Garnes, because yes, if you did even suit up for one game, you could be taken off the rookie status, right? So I like it.
Yeah. There were some injuries. I know Nick Anderson is available. He's no longer injured. Whether he plays or not, we will see.
That's I would expect him to be left off of the depth chart tomorrow, but we will see what happens with Nick Anderson.
Brett Boyko, he's out with a foot injury. Jared Brinkman is out as well with a foot injury. Greg Eiland is available. He is good to go. The same as Tamari Fox. Curly Gittens Jr. is out with a head injury.
That sucks.
Jonathan Kongbo is doubtful. TJ Luther is out with a hamstring injury. And Jackson Morgan is available. And Carter O'Donnell is questionable.
Yeah, and the Edmonton Elks will be treating this game like every other. They are taking this very seriously, but I will say they are shutting down guys that were quote-unquote held together with duct tape.
Right.
As per Mark Killam.
Yeah, well, so might as well get them healthy.
Yeah, Jared Brinkman has been on and off the whole second half of the season with this foot injury. So Jared Brinkman is definitely one of those players that has been held together with duct tape. There are a couple of them. Yeah. Nick Anderson has had a really tough year. Yeah. I believe that this is really his first time in his entire football career that he's had an injury like this. Yeah, and I know that he posted on social media as well about it, kind of talking about his struggles with it. To be injured like that,
especially after having an amazing year.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I mean, Bone Grinders Club is a thing over at Commonwealth Stadium. Can you be a juggernaut? Can you make it through the season without getting injured? Yeah. Guys get a little organizational status saying you're a part of the Bone Grinders Club for this year. I'm sure it's back. I wouldn't doubt it if Bone Grinders Club is back. But anyways, people take that seriously. The guys in that locker room take their health seriously. So as if any of these guys want to be injured, fat chance, right? And it's very frustrating. But if you don't need to be out there on the field, and if you are still a little bit beat up, then they will not be putting you on the turf in this scenario. So if it says doubtful, expect those guys not to play. They're gonna play a healthy roster, and of course they're gonna be playing the Calgary Stampeders. Yeah. So that's the last game of the season. Friday, October 24th at 7:30 p.m. versus Calgary Stampeders. It will be a spooktacular event with pumpkin carving contest. That is hard to say. At the tailgate. High energy dance extravaganza at halftime. And lots of costumes. It is presented by Goodwill, so make sure that you bring clothing and monetary donations in support of Edmonton's women's shelter. That's a big one. Make sure you bring in your donations, ladies and gentlemen. It's usually the Santa's Anonymous game.
I always forget about that one. I have so many toys in storage that I really want to bring to the Santa's Anonymous, and I always forget about it.
But they did Christmas in July this year. So that's it's at least it's always a giving time of year. And then I always have a hard time dressing up in a costume for not Halloween weekend. Yeah. If it's not a Halloween weekend, I don't like dressing up in advance. But to each their own. We hope obviously that a lot of
people
dress up.
Maybe I'll ask the boys if they want to dress up because they'll they'll want to come with us. So
or even little masks or something.
well, I have last year's Halloween costume, so
easy.
they could just wear
Dub.
Yes. What's your game preview? What do you think of this game?
Game preview: Edmonton Elks versus the Calgary Stampeders this Friday at 7:30 p.m. I'm confident because I think these players are going to throw it on the line for one last time this season. Obviously, they're out of the playoffs. There's no playoff possibility for the Edmonton Elks anymore, which that's at the hands of the BC Lions. Once again, I feel like this has happened before. Very frustrating, but I think that the Edmonton Elks are going to put on a performance. I think Calgary will be still fighting for something and playing for something here. I believe it's positioning in the standing. So, obviously they're trying to fight for their own standing implications in the playoffs. Now, I don't know if they can actually get home field advantage, but they do have a choice in playing through the West or the East.
Right.
So it will be very, very interesting. I do think that the Edmonton Elks can pull off the win. I think that if they win, it's going to be like by a touchdown, like a 37-30. I think that could be the score. As far as players to watch, well, I want to see Brock Mogensen at linebacker. Brock Mogensen, I will be keeping an eye out for. I think that he's going to have a fantastic game. Who is player to watch for the Edmonton Elks? I forgot. Oh, Joel DeBlanco, I think they have
I was going to say that's my player to watch. Joel DeBlanco.
I saw him at the team store today.
Oh, yeah. I want to see him sack.
I want to see him sack.
That's what I want. Sacks. I want more sacks.
I want to see him sack. Not suck, but sack.
Sack. That's the action that I want to see Joel DeBlanco do.
So there you go. We're both picking linebackers for this one. So obviously we're watching the defense. On the offensive side of the ball, I mean, we saw what happened with Cody Fajardo last week. Trey Ford, highly unlikely to draw into this game. I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to see the continual rise up of Benjamin Victor. Now, for the wide receivers in this last game against BC, the wide receivers, the receiver board, I know we had mentioned it earlier. I was correct. Curly Gittens Jr. was at the top of the board, 6 catches on 12 attempts for 96 yards. Obviously, we're going to be without that kind of production for this game. Mind you, he also only caught half of his catches. What about Keon Julian Grant, though? 4 catches on 9 attempts for 47 yards. We're going to be relying upon him a little bit more. Benjamin Victor going to be relying upon him a little bit more as long as he's all good to go, which obviously he wasn't on the injury list. So, and then Joel DeBlanco last game had 9 defensive tackles, and Brock Mogensen followed that with 6 defensive tackles. Yeah. So the linebackers are a story to watch. Wide receivers are a story to watch. Special teams, can Vincent Blanchard get it together? Yeah. That's and
he was doing so well, and then this game just...
Well, and that could be part of that, really, he's kind of like a rookie. We consider him like a rookie, but, it's going to be part of his progressions. I think they're going to bring in some hefty competition on him for next year for training camp, but they're not going to be bringing in anybody now, so...
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Blake here. Blake Milton, big BC Lions fan. What up, Blake? I thought you had us in the first half. Yeah.
See? First half, man. But then it just went downhill. Yeah. A Bootski.
Bootski, what up, Bootski?
He says, I haven't missed a home game this year. I'm a 50-50 about going on Friday. The only reason it's only 50 instead of 25 is I don't want to pass up decent weather or waste my parking pass. That's fair. Yes. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are 50-50ing this game, not only because of the Blue Jays game. They're
big reason, though.
Big reason, but also because of that. I mean, it's supposed to be a nice weather. I mean, at the end of the day, I do feel like a lot of people see this game as a nothing game. It doesn't count anymore. So do I really have to go? right? Which
I
might affect.
I understand that.
Yeah, that might affect attendance.
But the thing is that this is the last time of the year, the last game of the year. Excuse me, right now projected for plus 18, by the way.
Yeah, be nice. It'll be a beautiful day.
But it's the last time we get to see our fellow community. And we double E community. I like that with the double E's at the end. You know what I'm talking about. But it's going to be the last time we all get to see each other. Really, I mean, in an Edmonton Elks game day setting, it's our last tailgater of the year. We're going to be doing obviously the trophy presentation, but the biggest thing is the fans, and I'm sure there will be some media out there about me speaking about how much our fans are great, talking about how great our fans are. But yeah, I mean, I love football. I love the green and gold. I love this team. I love the community that we have. I love the fellow fans. I love the team store. I love Commonwealth Stadium. I love everything to do with the team, even when they don't win. And, you know, before you know it, when it is minus 30 outside and you're looking out at the frozen tundra, that is Edmonton in January when nothing's happening. Olympic hockey will be around the corner. Who knows where the Edmonton Oilers will be in the standings? You know, when you're dealing with that dead of winter and there's only really NFL to watch, and even right after in February and there's no NFL, you're going to be missing football. CFL football, there's nothing like it. NFL does not even come close, in my opinion, as far as entertainment factor. I think 3 Down is just way more entertaining. That's my personal opinion, but trust me, Abutski, we'll see you in the tailgate because, man, you might regret it. We'll be there. The fellow fans will be there, but it's always great. And yeah, if you're in the tailgate, swing on by Stall 182. And Ken Shapka in the herd chat. Got to love game day, baby. Let's go, man. Let's go. I love it. Blake is asking, see you guys at Grey Cup. Probably not, Blake. Not this year, unfortunately. But Calgary 2026, I think we are a bet for that one.
Yeah, for 2026. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we'll be traveling down the QE to head her on down to the little town by the bow, and the Edmonton Elks will be competing for at least a spot at the dance. You know, at the big dance. I think this team, and we're going to talk about it later on the show, but I think this team has finally turned the corner.
Yeah,
I like
where this team is going for sure.
It's way better. It's crazy, even just being down at Commonwealth Stadium, like. You know, for instance, today, see our girl, Christine. What up, Christine? Go see her. Went in to go buy some stuff. You know, Mike Arcuri with the Elks. He's walking out of the stadium. Joel DeBlanco walks into the team store. Jake Serezna's doing some training and going through his rehab assignments and everything. But all the players, the organization members, everybody's just kind of buzzing around the building and all saying hi to each other. And it's just like one big family, and like I'm saying hi to people. Like it was great. That's where the organization is heading, and once again, that's part of like what Larry Thompson has recreated in purchasing the team. So you love to see it. You love to see it. You love to see it. Alrighty. Next up, Catherine, I do believe we have ourselves an Edmonton Sports update. They hit me with an ad. What are they doing? All right. Your 7-10 Edmonton Elks were defeated by the BC Lions by a score of 30-7 to 24 last Friday.
30-7 to 24.
30. I went 30 to. I stuttered, but anyways, 37-24 last Friday, ending their playoff dreams. They will host the Calgary Stampeders in an attempt to spoil their path to the Grey Cup. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. with the tailgate starting at 4:30 p.m. Mountain. The 2025 Edmonton Elks Tailgate Chili Cook-Off Trophy presentation will be happening on October 24th at 5:15 p.m. People are encouraged to come on down to Stall 182 as we announce and celebrate the winners. U of A Golden Bears continue to struggle this season, posting only one win through 7 games. They finished their season on the road this Saturday, visiting the Calgary Dinos with pride on the line. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Mountain. The 9-3-0-1 Edmonton Oil Kings are staying hot. After suffering a shootout loss to the Spokane Chiefs last night, they'll look to bounce back this Saturday at Rogers Place when they host the Regina Pats. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. Mountain. Your Edmonton Oilers are struggling out the gate, securing only 3 wins in their first 7 games. Last night, a 3-2 win against the Ottawa Senators in overtime. They'll host the Montreal Canadiens tomorrow night at Rogers Place. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. Mountain. Don't forget that Love Pro Wrestling has events every month, with their next event featuring the Clandestine Wrestling Society tomorrow night, October 23rd, and then the main event on October 24th, with tickets as low as $10. You don't want to miss out. Where the Elks are? You're up to date. Oh, I like this one. National Lacrosse League announced today Unboxed Lacrosse is coming to Rogers Place on June 16th as Georgia is the home team versus Calgary, the away team.
Interesting.
NLL is back in Edmonton. Once again, we are the Elks. You're up to date.
Thanks for the update, John.
Thanks, John. All right, shout out to the viewers, shout out to the listeners, shout out you. You're rocking with the Elks Herd here on the Elks Call. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, all that good stuff. We appreciate you being here right now with us. This is awesome. We appreciate Catherine for toughing out this episode. It is another lovely sick-a-sode edition of the Elks Call here. Back to sleep. We both took naps before this show tonight, by the way. Yeah, you were sick and I was just old and grumpy. All righty. Let's go. Let's play some green or gold, everybody. This is our take on Hot or Not, Green or Gold is brought to you by our new Edmonton Oil Kings fan hub, The Royal Line. Cody and Len bring you their fan-sided coverage from outside the rink. You can find them at The Royal Line on social media platforms. All right, everybody, green or gold, we're going to bring up a topic or an item. If you like it, you're going to vote gold. And if you don't like it, you're going to vote green. Herd chat, you know what to do. Blow it up. Get your vote into the Herd chat to have your voice heard. H-E-R-D, Herd. All right, so green or gold. We got this last back end of the show, by the way, is going to be a little bit spicy. And I'm not talking resort spicy. Because that's something I just recently found out about.
You didn't know this?
I didn't know that resorts have a... What on there? We're not going to talk about this whole thing right here on air, but I didn't know that resorts have a spicy feature. I'm like, what is this? Why does it say spicy? Like, I got a heartburn lately, so I can't have spicy resort. Why does it say spicy? Suffering from heartburn, man. Like,
no, not that kind of spicy. Is the kind of spicy that you see? What is it? Flamingos, pineapples?
I think it's the pineapples when you're talking about. I think they orientate them a certain
Anyways,
way.
we're steering off topic here.
Exactly. Let's talk about spicy in terms of CFL conversation here on the Elks Call, okay? All right, so first question, everybody, green or gold? Machine Gun Kelly as the Grey Cup halftime show. Throw in your votes into the Herd chat. Is it green or is it gold? Catherine, what are you picking?
I don't know. I find it very hard to care right now at this point because I'm not going. So it's very easy for me to be very just nonchalant, non-caring about this particular decision. But I think that for the sake of the CFL and where they're trying to take this, it's going to be a gold. Gold.
Wait. 3, 2.
Whoa.
You just went, whoa. Whoa.
I mean, I think that's what they're trying to do, right? The CFL is trying to engage a younger audience. They're trying to catch the attention of a demographic that doesn't quite exist in the CFL, which is the reason why they saw the Jonas Brothers last year.
Right.
So, in terms of a marketing perspective and a business decision, I think it's a gold in that sense. I personally have never heard a Machine Gun Kelly song.
Right.
I may have. I don't know. If you tell me, if you play one for me, I'll probably be like, okay, yeah, I've heard that.
I tried to play one and you told me to turn it off.
Oh.
So get that trash off. I'm like, okay.
So I may not necessarily agree with the music decision, but at the same time, it's just because, and again, this is because I'm not going to be there. Mm-hmm. I think if I was going, it would be a different story because obviously I would want to see a band that perhaps I'm a little bit more familiar with.
Right.
And all that. But
I think, like, I don't know, in my opinion, I'm going to say green here, and it's mostly just because I don't really like Machine Gun Kelly. I also like Eminem a lot more when it comes to the MGK.
I think everybody likes Eminem more.
Well, and Eminem roasted this guy, and he disappeared for like a year or two, and then came back with a tour after being roasted. Maybe it was like, what, 3 or 4 years? I don't know. I'm getting old.
He came back with the
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox. I mean,
Megan Fox might be at the Grey Cup. Now that
didn't they break up? This
know.
Is turning into a completely different episode.
I don't follow tabloids unless it's Street Out Nation. I'm just kidding. Whoa. That's a joke.
I am going to cut that and make it into a reel.
Please don't. Let's take a look at the Herd Chat here to see what people have to say. John Kirby here, green, can't stand that tattooed belief. Oh, wait, can't say the word on a family-friendly show. Thank you, John. Appreciate that.
We did bleep it.
We do try to keep it PG, you know.
Ken
Chapka here in the Herd Chat. Green should have been a Canadian act, but I understand what they're doing. So, yeah, I understand what they're doing, and they do need to bring in fresher talent other than, you know, recycling Shania Twain how many times, right?
I don't know. If they brought out Celine Dion, I would be there just to go see Celine. Right. Not gonna lie.
Okay, so let's talk about Canadian here.
Yeah.
Second question of green or gold. Mm-hmm. Our Lady Peace opening the Grey Cup. Is that a green or is that a gold?
Do I know any Our Lady Peace?
Yes. One Man Army.
Is it one of those Canadian rocks that I seem to have a particular dislike for?
You just don't like Canadian rock. Ladies and gentlemen, please throw it in the Herd Chat here because Catherine cannot answer this one. Our Lady Peace has multiple hits.
I'm gonna say gold. Same reason. At least they're. Whoa, sorry. Wrong. Gold.
Wait.
Whoa. At least they're appeasing the masses with a Canadian band opening the whole thing. So
nice. John Kirby here in the Herd Chat did give us the update. Machine Gun Kelly did break up with Megan Fox, or it could have been vice versa. Who knows? And then he does also follow that up with they're in Winnipeg. How about children's icon in Canadian Fred Penner, which BC Lions have brought him out at halftime. They brought him out, yes. So teams have been hitting up Fred Penner's line. Jamie Fadoon in the Herd Chat. What up, Jamie? We say
from Winnipeg.
From Winnipeg. This guy's a little bit early for the Grey Cup, but
I think Jamie's gonna end up moving to Winnipeg. Not gonna lie.
Better not. No. You better stay in Andrew, Alberta, man.
Yeah.
John Kirby here, green, just because Our Lady Peace is doing the pregame show and they don't normally show that on TV.
That's fair.
I wonder if CFL Plus or somewhere is going to have it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, and even last year they cut the halftime show drastically. Like we only saw a tiny little bit of Snoop Dogg.
Oh, that was
Oh
beginning
no,
of the
no, no, that
season.
was the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
sorry, but yeah, no, we were there for the last year.
yeah.
Yeah, the beginning of the season that they cut that off quite a bit. So we'll see if they show even MGK the full thing.
Yeah, I think they will because it's a halftime show,
Yeah.
right? So, oh, here we go. Apparently, FP was a solid show. OLP was a show I loved live. Looking forward to them. So,
Yeah.
I like it.
I think it's a good choice for opening band.
Mhm.
Once again, I may not necessarily like the bands that they have, but I mean, live music is live music, and as long as it's not country, I am happy.
Yeah, I think avoiding the country piece, and I mean, we are particular to certain genres such as rock, and indifferent to other genres such as country. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I mean, no matter what, I think like maybe Calgary, we might see maybe a big country act
Oh,
for
I
their Grey
think
Cup.
so. I'm expecting it.
Yeah, and I mean that
Yeah.
just kind of that's the territory now. At the
Yeah.
same time, if you are the Grey Cup, and we're going to talk about this committee, but if you are the Grey Cup Festival committee, you want your event to be big. You want it to be spectacular. You want to attract audiences that you normally wouldn't have. And I mean, Grey Cup in Winnipeg, MGK is going to help do that. Jonas Brothers to MGK. I think MGK right now has the bigger star power.
Yeah, I
right?
think so. I think so. And I mean, just even demographic wise, I mean, with MGK, you will see even more, I think, male participation that, say, the Jonas Brothers would have brought, even though, you know, there were tons of men at that Grey Cup singing away
So
to
good.
Jonas Brothers.
So
But regardless, I think it was, yeah, and they know what they're doing. I'm not going to chirp on that too much.
No, but we do have some things to talk about when it comes
Okay.
to this Grey Cup festivals, this Grey Cup
Let's do it.
committee. So thank you everybody very much for participating in another lovely edition of Green or Gold. Next up, for our final segment, we are bringing back the fan favorite. It is the Fan Forum. The Fan Forum is brought to you by the Argos Fancast. Join Clay, Will, and Sir Doug as they give you the latest from Argos land right here on Shotgun Sports Network. All right, it's the Fan Forum. Let's officially open it up. In this segment, we're going to talk about the hottest topics surrounding the Edmonton Elks and the CFL world as a whole. Herd chat for the last time tonight. Blow it up. Get your comments and questions onto the show. We will be answering questions and throwing them on, especially some of the ones that we saw earlier in the herd chat. So keep them coming. Keep the questions coming. Keep the comments coming. We're going to bring up a couple of them. All right. Comments, we bring up a lot. We've officially opened up this fan forum. Let's get to the questions here. Question number 1. The Winnipeg Grey Cup Committee has found themselves in the crosshairs yet again for the second week in a row. Last week's concern was tickets seemingly selling out for the socials, which socials is a whole subject of its own. But this week, the Grey Cup Committee is asking volunteers for $100 to register for volunteer duties. While exclusive merchandise is being offered, such as jackets and other items, one can argue that paying to register to volunteer is outrageous. So is the Grey Cup Committee fumbling once again, or is this the right move?
Horrible move. What the hell?
How do you call this the right move?
It is outrageous. At that point, you're not a volunteer. Like, I don't even know what you would call that position when you're paying
Volunteer.
to work. Like, no, but it's that's like the complete opposite. When somebody volunteers, they're not expecting to get paid.
But you get a $300 jacket.
I will go and not get a jacket. Like, I'll still volunteer in that sense, not get paid, and like, who cares about the jacket? Like, it's a Winnipeg Grey Cup jacket. Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wear anything with blue and gold on it, right?
No, that's and even then, for a lot of instances, yes, and that's exactly the point that I wanted to bring. What John says over here, he says, when I volunteer the Grey Cup here in Edmonton, I didn't have to pay. I got 2 gloves jacket for free.
And now contrast that to what Jamie Fadoon says here in the herd chat. They did that in Regina too. So apparently you had to pay to volunteer in Regina too.
The hell, at that point, I would prefer supporting my team and going to the team store and buying a $100 jacket for the Edmonton Elks.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, even if it's a green and gold Grey Cup jacket, which there's been in this last, 2018 Grey Cup, which is it's becoming a far distant memory now, but I still remember the sting. 2018 Grey Cup, there's a lot of green and gold merch that they make for each Grey Cup, and we don't buy any.
Well, no, even one of the things that I did notice last year, because that was my first Grey Cup, and one of the things that I wanted to buy that I couldn't find anything of is CFL merchandise.
Exactly.
Just CFL, right? I didn't want anything to do with the team because the teams in the Grey Cup were not my team. So why would I go ahead and buy something that has other teams' logos or names on that?
Right.
I was just looking for straight up CFL branding.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find anything.
Ottawa's team store, Lansdowne Sports. They actually, you can buy, but it's only one spot, right? You can't actually get it in any of the team stores or anything like that. Jamie Fadoon is volunteering for the Grey Cup this year. Shout out Jamie for being an awesome guy and volunteering for the Grey Cup. Mm-hmm. What a great guy.
But they shouldn't have to make you pay for a jacket.
That's and this is, I think, especially because Jamie also did mention Regina has done it too. Now, this may be hearsay at this point. I will go ahead and confirm this because I am curious about this particular subject. I mean, paying to volunteer, in my opinion, it kind of defeats the purpose. It doesn't matter if you're getting $400 to $500 worth of merch. Your time is worth $400 to $500.
Can you still volunteer without having to pay the $100?
No, you have to.
You have to
because, like John said, but apparently you have to wear the jacket that they give you as a volunteer. So that's the whole point: is you have to wear their gear. Now,
so what? You go volunteer anywhere,
yeah,
and they will give you a jacket or a shirt that you have to wear, and that's for free because you're still representing the brand.
Well, remember when we volunteered for the Sherwood Park Crusaders?
Yeah.
We would wear the event jacket sometimes, right? And you wear the event jacket and you give it back and it gets washed
or even we got shirts too for free.
Well, those were on Superhero Night, so everybody was getting those shirts. But
I know. But still.
But like, no, but either way, no, exactly. I mean, I don't understand that whole point of paying to volunteer because they're trying to recuperate costs. Now, a reason why Regina and Winnipeg would be doing this is because they're community owned. So because they don't have a private ownership and because they're community owned and because the Blue Bombers are indeed a part of the planning committee for this event, this is obviously coming down to costs and where they can offset costs. Do I think that that's right? No. Is it a model that technically works? Yes. I'm not going to go ahead and completely harp on any team for doing this, but I do think it is a bit petty when people are donating what could be arguably hundreds of dollars of their time. Because I can tell you if I charge out, let's say if I'm doing a side job for refrigeration related stuff, if I happen to take a look at something and do something for a friend or a family member or whatever, I would look at the dollar because I would never charge anybody while we're alive on here. And let me just clear this up. I would never charge anybody to do side work. But in the event that I did, I would probably value myself at like $75 an hour. My time is worth $75 an hour for me to go do this job. For these people, right, at bare minimum, it's $15 an hour as per what. Yeah.
Well, that's in Alberta. Who knows what it is in Winnipeg?
Exactly. But no matter what, it's minimum wage out there.
Yeah.
So if somebody volunteers for even 10 hours, that's potentially $150.
Yeah.
So, and our friends will be volunteering.
But yes. Yeah, no, I think if I ever went to anywhere and I was like, hey, listen, now I'm looking to volunteer here. I'm going to go volunteer there. And then I get there and then they tell me you got to pay to volunteer.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm going to walk away now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I don't need to not only, like you say, spend my time and my time is worth, But not only that, now I have to pay to be here when I'm just trying to gift my time.
Well, exactly.
That's
No,
horrible.
very, very straight up, right? Abutsky does say Catherine Buckley's tastes terrible, but it works. I love it.
I don't want to.
I love it.
I don't want to. I have some upstairs.
Love it.
It's horrible.
John Gerby does say the CFL needs money, so that's why they're doing it. And then Jamie Fadoon also does say you get free food, though, for your time when you volunteer.
You would hope so.
So, no, but, and I mean, at least they are sweetening the pot, right? And I mean, I think volunteers technically could be paying their own way on their food. So
a lot of the time volunteers get fed. For sure.
Well, they're volunteering, right? Like you're giving up your time. Like I said, and
that would be inhumane if you're there for more than 8 hours and you don't get food.
Well, and once again, what is your time worth, right? And
that's wild. I don't like that practice.
It's a bit interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of this one, but I think that you know it's an interesting concept, and apparently community-owned teams, do go this route. So, and I understand the whys on it. It just, I think volunteering should be kept pure. You know, leave the volunteering just as
call it something else at that point.
Yeah, like pay to play sort of thing, right? It's like you're not spending $100 to try out for the team. You're spending $100 to get some great merch, sure, but you're also paying to volunteer, which is it's a weird concept. So, but big shout out to Jamie Fadoon, I will say. Shout out Jamie Fadoon for stepping up and doing that, because that's still awesome. Alrighty, let's go over this last question here before your lungs pop out of your chest.
I'm sleepy.
You need some Halls.
I didn't want to because I was drinking a pop, so that would taste disgusting. But all right. Buckley's
is what you needed. Alrighty, second question here. The Edmonton Elks have squandered another season, albeit an exciting one, with storylines that set up a triumphant return for next season. The problem is that we've said this before on the show. How much faith do you have in the Double E stepping it up again, like for next year? And I mean, we've gone over this scenario multiple times. We've talked about this in multiple seasons, but does it truly feel like this team has taken the step forward, has turned the corner, is bringing back green and gold glory?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're in a really good position. I think that they just need to continue what they're doing, work on certain things that need to be fixed, maybe certain positions, maybe coaching. Yeah, like obviously they're not. We know as they are right now, they might not make it if they keep the same.
Right.
If it's the same. But what I do know is that the team that we're seeing right now is much better than the team that we saw at the start of the season.
But is it better than the team that we saw at the end of last season?
Yes, I think so. I think pieces are starting to click. We said the same thing last season at the end of the season, that things are starting to click. But the problem with that from last season to this season is that there were so many changes from then to now, right? So even though at the last of the season last year, things were starting to click, then you go through a whole new restructuring of the team, new faces, new coaches, new everything. That is just kind of starting all over again, unfortunately. So in a way, I don't think it's necessarily fair to compare it to last year's because there's been so much change. But what I like to compare it to is from the end of the season to the beginning of the season. And there has been improvement.
Well, and I do like what you said, comparing beginning of the season this year to end of season this year. And I mean, the season's not technically done yet, but we are out of the playoffs. We understand where the team is. We weren't bounced out nearly as fast as Toronto and Ottawa were. And that's something to hang a hat on. The team was not a colossal failure. The team didn't step back. I think there are some points to hang a hat on when it comes to this team. I'm not going to be one of those fans that lambastes the organization for squandering another year. the year was going to get squandered. At the beginning of the season, once again, we said the team looks good on paper. We could not account for a Trey Ford debacle at the beginning of the season. Edmonton Elks having to go to Cody Fajardo. Everybody betting on Cody Fajardo. And then, of course, the Double E making it a fun end to the season, hoping for playoffs. All you want is a chance.
Yeah.
Right? All you want is a chance. You just need a chance. And I don't care if Cody Fajardo's maybe just a game manager. The guy doesn't, truly ball out as a quarterback. He doesn't give you those big explosive plays. He's more of, your cookie cutter quarterback. I don't care. That's such an improvement over what we've seen here for the last few years.
This is the most amount of home wins that I have
seen. Yeah, for sure.
So that's just something, right?
Edmonton Elks could still take the season series on the Calgary Stampeders for the second year in a row. Like, there's still storylines, but as far as this team, are they indeed improved over last year? Yeah, I'm going to say they are. I think that there is hope. I think they have turned the corner. I think looking at the organizational health is a lot different. Now, obviously, what positions would you tinker? Well, you can't tell me that offensive line is perfect. It still needs help. Coordinating. Like, Jordan Maximic, I don't know what happens with that scenario this offseason. They might try to run him back one more year, and if we don't see improvement, then that might be an issue. But I think that you might risk squandering a season if Jordan Maximic is still there at offensive coordinator. Who knows what the issues are there? Do I think that we're missing talent at wide receiver? Yes, I do. Like I
agree.
Wide receiver needs help. Offensive line needs help. Defensive line, I think we're going to see some changes because there's some pretty big salaries up there.
Right.
For players that are aging, to be quite frank. Jake Seresna better be staying on that D-line. But I think there's a couple other players who could...
I'm just scared for Jake Seresna. I don't want it to be another Aaron Grimes situation.
No, he was in the gym today.
Yeah.
Oh, he's good. I saw him at
well, I know, but Aaron Grimes was too. But certain injuries are just too big, right? And unfortunately, if you keep re-aggravating the same injury over and over, it just causes more issues that even if they work out every day, even if they stay healthy and they want to, sometimes it just takes one bad move, right? So that's my fear, because we did see him re-aggravating that injury more than a couple of times this year. So,
but I think he also tried to stay in when he didn't need to.
Yeah.
But that's also because, well, really the team needed him to, because they needed quality on the line. And he played his heart out and his knee out.
I hope not, because I love watching Jake Seresna play. Yeah. So I definitely want him back next year, if possible.
But I mean, the defensive line, they were starting to get pressure near the end of the season. They were starting to get more sacks. Like, the team as a whole started to gel more. And that's where I do agree with your means of assessment, with your method of assessment, instead of going year over year, beginning of the year to end of year. I do think that this team has improved quite a bit. So, I mean, I did see some questions up there, and the Trey Ford one, obviously, like...
Well, we don't know what's going to happen with that. It's easy to make assumptions, but at the end of the day, we don't know.
Well, and I believe Tyrell Ford is only here on a 1-year deal as well.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
It'll be interesting. I think that this was a bit of a gamble year for the Ford brothers, and I mean, I don't know if Tyrell and Trey necessarily paid off. It'll be interesting to see what happens with next season. No matter what, at bare minimum, Trey Ford would need to renegotiate his contract in order to stay. Is he going to do that? That's the question.
Yeah, let's see. I don't think he's going to start, and we don't know.
That's
last year. That was John's question. He does have another question that he asked right at the beginning of the episode. What do you think of the teasers that the Foo Fighters might be playing in our stadium next year?
I think that's a lock.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, the Foo Fighters, they've been leaking media, and they've been leaking, billboards.
Mhm.
So Mosaic Stadium is going to be getting Foo Fighters as well, which is very interesting. So, yeah, so Foo Fighters will be coming to Edmonton. Everybody watch for the announcements.
Unless they just grabbed random stadium pictures in Canada. That'd be funny.
Well, no, so Mosaic Stadium had the Foo Fighters logo on their billboard
Right, I did
in the
see,
stadium.
Yeah, I saw.
In Toronto, where you met Alex and us after the game in that mall, that's where they have a big cube with Foo Fighters all over it.
Okay.
And then in BC Place, they have all the last names on jerseys, Grohl and Dave Grohl and all the band members.
So they're going to be doing a Canadian tour.
Well, there's going to be at least 4 stops in Canada, and one of them will be Edmonton, because today Hunter and Nanook were playing guitar.
I know, I did see that. And
they were playing Foo Fighters.
Playing.
Oh, did see Hamilton Sports, Hamilton Sports Central in there, which is our good friend Rick. What up, Rick?
No, this one over here. Oh, in regards to the Blue Jays game, this one.
Sure, let's see. Ticats are showing parts of the game on the scoreboard, but also after the game too at Hamilton Stadium. Love your content, Cat and Scout. We love yours, Rick. We love you, man. Let's little round of applause for Rick here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're going to do something like that on Friday. Maybe they will show snippets of the game as.
Yeah,
well,
I think in between, maybe at commercial breaks and whatnot, they might do that. But no, they won't actually, because they have their own in-stadium activations.
Right, that's true.
So it's very, very tricky. The only time they'd be able to do that is at halftime.
So what's going to happen is we're going to be watching on our phones.
On our phones, TELUS TV. We got the app. You know what it is. Going to be rocking that TELUS TV.
Yeah,
we're not missing it. Yeah, no, we did hear from some fans that they may not be going to the game to stay at home and watch the Blue Jays game. And obviously to each their own. Like, fan your own way. We're not going to tell you how to fan, right? But no matter what, we'd love to see an awesome turnout at Commonwealth Stadium for the last game of the year. It's against the Calgary Stampeders. Like, it's a battle of Alberta. It's a fantastic game to send off the Elks into the offseason. It only gets colder from here. It's going to be a beautiful plus 17. Let me check that forecast. Plus 17.
Yeah, that's what you said. 18.
Plus 18. Let's see what it says right now. Yeah, and then maybe we'll do on the next episode, we'll go over what we're thankful for. Because
that was Thanksgiving.
We could have did a thankful. We should have did a thankful.
We're always thankful for all of the viewers.
Hashtag blessed. It is right now sitting at plus 17 for Friday. So still fantastic weather. I believe it gets down to like, I don't know, plus 5, I think, by the end of the game or something. But no matter what, fantastic weather. Come on down to Commonwealth Stadium on Friday for 7:30. Of course, if you want to catch that tailgate, that's going to be at 4:30 p.m.
I hope I'm not still sick by then.
I hope I'm not sick by then. And I also hope you're feeling better by then. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and close the fan forum. Thank you very much, everybody, for participating in another lovely edition of the fan forum. And like that, we have made it to the end of today's show. This has been a fantastic one. A little bit short today because somebody over here is sick. Who gets sick for a podcast episode? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
So you're doing it on your own.
I've done it. I've done it sick, and it sucks. It always sucks trying to man the mic and keep your stuff together, you know? Yeah, so big shout out to Kathy. Let's give Kathy a round of applause for making it through this episode while sick. I'm
gonna go get Neocitrin and an Advil and a shot of tequila, and I'm gonna go to bed.
We do have that,
and have the weirdest dreams ever. Sweat it out.
Sick dreams suck, by the way. Sick dreams are really weird.
But when you mix all that, like at least the Neocitrin and the tequila shot, you sweat it out. You have the weirdest dreams, but it works. And I'm going to put some Vicks Vapor up too, because that's what the Mexican in me is calling for.
Big Mexican move. I got to wear the poncho. I got to wear the poncho for next episode, I think. All right, everybody. Once again, we have made it to the end of the episode. Fantastic time. Can't wait to do it again already next week. We'd like to give a big shout out and round of applause to you, the viewer, the listener. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight, tomorrow, whenever and wherever you listen to this podcast. If you are listening, that'll be on TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcast. Spotify's a big one too. Go check us out there. And if you are watching, you will definitely be watching on Facebook, which is the Elks Herd, or you will be watching over at Shotgun Sports Network on YouTube. Give us a like, subscribe, favorite, follow, all of that good stuff. For the fans, from the fans, we do this for you, with you. So really appreciate everybody once again for all your support. But until next time, my name is Scout, a.k.a. the Rep from Section X.
I'm Catherine, a.k.a. Do You and Elks.
We are the Elks Herd. This was the Elks Call, and we'll check everybody on the next episode, which was next week. Check you later, everybody.
Have a good night.
Cheers.